Alrighty, welcome back, boys and girls. It's your main math band, Mr. Trent, coming to you live from Mayfield. And in this video, we're going to be working on that Inequalities Homework number 1, numero uno. And it says, for the directions, graph each solution to the inequality on the number line, and use a highlighter to show included values that are solutions. Meaning, if you would plug in that value, it would still make a true statement. Lastly, write yes or no if 0 is a solution, meaning would we include 0 in that set of solutions? And so let's jump right into this first one. So it says x minus 2 is greater than 2. So again, use your inverse operations. Again, this is one simple step. So all I have to do is add 2 to both sides. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. On the left side, the 2's cancel out, and so we're left with just what's remaining. So we have x, and then we have greater than, and then 2 plus 2 is 4. Again, be careful. I had people saying yesterday, Kynell, that 2 plus 2 was not 4, so again, just be careful. Alright, so now, since x is greater than 4, again, you can say, alright, I'm going to have, let's get our highlighter out, and I'm going to use a nice pink color. And so I'm going to say, alright, I'm going to go to where it has that value, so I'm going to go on to 4. And you want to make sure that you have an open circle for this one. So I'm going to have an open circle, and now, again, I can match the direction of my inequality symbol since my variable is on the left side, and so I can say, okay, it's pointing that all values greater than positive 4. And then I would say, okay, is 0 a solution? And I would say, well, no, where's 0 at? Is it highlighted? No, it is not. So we could say no for this one. And number 2, it says x plus 7 is less than positive 1. Again, use your inverse operations, and so we could say, alright, I can do minus 7 to both sides. So I'm going to say minus 7 to both sides. These 7's cancel out, and so we're left with just x on the left. We have the less than symbol, and we have 1 minus 7 is negative 6. Again, be sure you can circle your answer, that way you know you're good. And so now again, since we have no line underneath, we have no filled circle, and so we go down to our value, and so we say, alright, open circle on negative 6, and then we're going to say, okay, everything below it, so everything less than negative 6. Lastly, can we say, is 0 a solution? Well, we do not see that it's shaded in, and so it's not going to be part of that solution set. All it's saying is this: would we be able to plug in 0 into this inequality and it hold true? So we would say, alright, is 0 less than negative 6? We know that this is false, meaning it is not true, and so that's why it is not a solution. Alright, last two. It says x minus 4 is less than or equal to positive 5. Use those inverse operations, so I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Again, you're just trying to get rid of the terms that are on the same side as the variable. Whatever you do to one side, got to do to the other. So we add 4 to both sides. On the left, I have an x. On the right, I have a 9. And again, we can bring down that less than or equal to symbol. Alright, so we have x is less than or equal to positive 9. Since we have a filled in line, we're going to have a filled in circle, so I'm going to go all the way to positive 9. I'm going to fill in that circle, so I'm going to have a filled in circle. And I'm going to say and shade in everything to the left. So everything to the left, since it is less than, is a possible answer. That means if you could plug in any value, meaning we could plug in -10 and it would still hold true. But more importantly, we're asking, is 0 a solution? And for this one, we would say, yes, it is. For that last one, be able to do those inverse operations, should probably be able to get the hang of this now. Just kidding. It should be -3 to both sides. So -3 to both sides. On the left side, all we're left with is that positive x. And we have greater than or equal to, and then -7. Since we have a filled in line, meaning there's a greater than or equal to symbol there, we're going to make sure that we have a filled in circle. And so we go to the point where it has a -7, and we have a filled in circle. Then we can take your highlighter, and we're going to now shade everything to the right. So again, notice how it's pointing to the right. So we're going to say everything to the right is a possible solution. And so last question, we say, is 0 a solution? And very clearly, yes, it is. Again, you can kind of see how it is shaded in right there. All that's saying is if we were to plug in 0, would it hold true? So is 0 greater than or equal to -7? We know, yes, it is.